Awesome. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to get your activities. Just one moment. How was your experience with the writing?
Mm, at first, it was hard, but actually, it's hard because I'm not used to in writing
Mm-hmm.
and you know and building sentences and using the one sentence paragraph.
Okay.
I'm not used to it.
Yeah. Do you see any advantages of using the one sentence paragraph format?
Yes, sir. It's easier to understand. It's easier to edit and uh, correct,
Okay.
and I can spot my mistakes easily.
Hmm.
I
That's
think so.
that's good to hear. So yeah, I learned the one sentence paragraph from my boss, and ever since I started using it, I got a lot better at communicating. So today's session one for the writing exercises. Um, okay, so can you also see the activity?
uh, which one, sir?
Week one,
Uh,
lesson one.
week one, lesson one. Exercises.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ah, one minute. Huh?
I just need to read through some of the parts because as you may already know, we are recording the session, so you'll have your copy. And I am removing your last name so you don't get any stalkers.
Okay, sir.
Okay? So,
Okay.
baka may mag-search sa'yo. So, like, if it's just first name, like, no one can find it. Anyway, so what's your main goal? Why did you get the lessons?
Come again, sir. You're
Uh,
breaking up.
what's your main goal? Why did you get the lessons?
Sir, I really wanted to study English so that I can speak better English and so that I can get a job.
Okay, sure. Uh, I forgot to ask. Do you want the session to be like Taglish, or do you wanna try speaking straight English tonight?
Uh, Sir, I'll go for Taglish. I'll speak in English as much as I can.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Let's try English first, and if you want me to slow down or speak Taglish, just let me know. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So this is all practice. So if you're making mistakes, that's fine, because we're in practice.
Yes.
You're not competing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you want to work in a call center. You want to develop your English skills. What do you think is your biggest challenge or your biggest problem when it comes to speaking English?
Um, my accent, my uh, speaking in English. I'm not used to speaking in English,
Okay,
sir.
that's fine. Um, hmm. Okay, so do you have your like a notebook, something to write on right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. So what we're going to do, so if you've seen any of my videos, you know what we're gonna do. We're just going to read through your answers, and I'm going to point out the mistakes. Now, it's really important that you discover your mistakes, or that we discover your mistakes, so you know what to fix. Okay? Oh, did we get disconnected? It went quiet. Redial. Speaker. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, sir.
Yep. So, as I was saying, the reason why we are looking for your mistakes is because we are trying to find what we need to fix. And once we fix the mistakes, your English is going to sound a lot better.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay.
So, I'm gonna start activity one. My name is Nina. I used to work as a waitress. I used to work for Shangri-La Mall. Shangri-La Makati. My dream job is to work from home. I want a job that pays well. I am good at writing my thoughts. I studied at JRU. I studied information technology. Very good. Hindi mo siya linagyan ng BS or Bachelor of whatever. Kasi,
I
you know,
think I read it somewhere in your,
yeah, your
your
sentences
lessons.
are good. They're good and they're short and they're complete. So it's very so the balance is good in your first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sentence. I was unable to finish my college degree. This is okay, like as far as the sentence goes. I had to help my mother with her business. I tried applying for a job as a call center agent. I always failed my interview. I think it's because I lack confidence. I have difficulty with expressing my thoughts verbally. I have poor communication skills. I will find a way to improve my communication skills. I'm gonna pause right here. Ever since I
Yes.
started reading, uh, did you hear anything that sounds like mali yung grammar?
Um, feeling ko, sir, wala.
Wala, no? Well,
Opo.
I think so too. Like, all of your sentences up to this point are correct. So, you're good as far as grammar goes. I haven't found anything yet. But we'll keep looking for errors, okay? So we know what to spot because usually it's just 1 or 2 small errors that break your good impression in an interview. So let's continue. I will find a way to improve my communication skills. I will study hard to improve my vocabulary. I will also try to speak English every day. So the first error, write this down on your notebook.
In.
Um, yeah, the first one is in. You don't need this.
Okay, sir.
And the second error, the more important problem. Well, just to let you know, the whole speak in English. Uh, this is wrong when it comes to grammar, but
Okay.
almost everyone makes this mistake. I keep hearing speak in English, but the proper way to say it is speak English. Anyway, the main my
Speak
main
English, sir.
problem in this sentence is English is not capitalized. So write down the word capitalization. So
Okay, sir.
that's the problem that you should watch out for. Now, this is something that I tell almost all of my students. When you find a problem in activity one, there's a good chance that it's going to show up later. Like we're gonna have the same problem later.
Okay, sir.
So let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, okay. So activity two. Activity two. I wrote down. Hey, wait. Fluffy, quiet. I wrote down activity two just so. Saglit lang ah. Nag-iingayin. I wrote down activity two just so we have a way for you to think of answers to activity one. And this is one of the techniques that I'd like to teach you. So, for
Yes, sir.
example, you're trying to answer a sentence or you're trying to answer a complex question. Okay? You're trying to answer a difficult question like, why should I hire you? Or why do you want to work here? Or what are your strengths? Or what are your advantages over other job applicants? Okay? Now, usually, these questions are difficult to answer, but we don't know why those questions are difficult to answer. Would you like to guess why those questions are difficult to answer?
Because I don't know the answer.
Well, yeah, that's true. But here's the thing. Let's start with one difficult question. Can you select one question? What's your advantage over other what's your advantage over other job applicants? Why should I hire you? Or why do you want to work here? Like, what do you think? Which one do you find most difficult to answer?
What is your advantage to other
Over
applicants?
other job applicants. Okay,
Yes,
what are your advantages? So what are your advantages over the other job applicants? It's a very confusing question because you don't know where to begin, right?
yes, sir.
So what I'm gonna do is down your I'm going to break down that question. So what are your advantages? Let me write that here, just so I don't forget. Okay. Um, where did you study?
In Occidental University.
Okay. Did you finish college?
No, sir.
Sorry?
I'm an undergrad.
Okay. Do you have any work experience?
Just waitress in Makati, Shanghai.
You worked as a waitress in Makati, Shangri-La.
Yes, sir.
How long did you work as a waitress?
Uh, a year and a half.
Okay. You survived a year and a half. Okay,
Yes,
very
sir.
good. What skills did you learn working as a waitress?
Mm, I learned to take orders and serve food and beverage, and I also learned how to handle customer complaints.
So you've had some customer service training, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how to handle difficult customer complaints?
Uh, yes, sir. Uh,
So you know how to handle
I did.
difficult customer complaints, right?
Yes, sir.
Does the supervisor need to watch your every move just to make sure that you're doing your job? Or can
No,
you work
sir.
independently?
I can work independent.
Okay, so um, what else? Do you have any problems with attendance?
No, sir.
No problems with attendance.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Um, what else? Let me think because it's not. I'm typing at the same time. Um, whenever a boss or a supervisor gives you a difficult task, do you complain or do you just do it?
Uh, I just do it.
You just
I
do it.
try to do the best that I can.
Okay. Um, What if you don't know how to do the task? What's the first thing you're going to do?
Um, I asked the supervisor how to do it and what should I do. I asked someone who knows something about it.
Okay, very good. So you're telling me that if you receive a difficult task, you're gonna maintain a positive attitude and try to do the work, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you receive a task that you don't know how to do, you're going to find out how to do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, What else? I'm trying to remember interview situations I've been to so I can ask you more questions. But so far we have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. We have about 9 questions. Um, do you think if we put together your answers, you'll have some idea on how to answer what are your advantages over your other job applicants? Now that I've asked you those questions, do you think you'll have a better answer for the question, what are your advantages over other job applicants?
I think so, sir. I will
Okay.
try.
Okay, let's switch roles. You're the interviewer, okay?
Okay, sir.
And then I want you to ask me the question, and then I'm gonna pretend to be you. I want you to ask me the question, what are your advantages over other job applicants? Go.
What are your advantages over other job applicants?
Okay, I studied at JRU. I didn't finish college, but I have some work experience. I worked at Shangri-La, Shangri-La Makati, and I worked there for a year and a half. And when I worked for Shangri-La Makati, I learned a lot of different skills. I learned how to serve customers. I learned a bunch of skills um, related to working in a restaurant. So I know how to serve customers. I know how to run the POS. I also learned customer service, and I know how to deal with difficult customers. And I have some experience where my supervisor does not need to manage me once I learned the tasks that I needed to do. And one of the things that I'm proud of is that I have perfect attendance when I was working for Shangri-La Makati. And I know that call center work is extremely strict with attendance. So you'll never have a problem with me when it comes to attendance. And also back when I was working at Shangri-La Makati, I've successfully handled difficult tasks and tasks that I didn't know how to do. All I needed to do was just ask the supervisor. So if you assign me a task that's difficult and a task that I don't know how to do, I'll still be able to handle it. And I think that's one of my advantages. I think there are others, but I think I have other advantages over other applicants, but I just didn't have the time to think of a better answer, and that's the answer that I have so far. What do you think? Do you want to hire me? Come on,
I'm sorry.
do you want to hire me? Hello?
Hello?
Do you want to hire me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very
I will
good,
hire you.
right? So that's the idea. Like, what are your advantages over the other job applicants? Change that into like maybe 10 or 20 questions, and then put together a good answer, kind of like what we did.
Okay, sir.
All right, and that's how it
Yes, sir.
works. Like I gave you a sample, like this whole thing. What's your name? What's your nickname? Where are you from? This is tell me about yourself, right? And then
Okay, sir.
the other questions that I asked, these are all related to like your advantages. And here's the thing: when I delivered my answer to the question, do you think I sounded confident?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think
You
I
sound
sound?
confident.
Do you want to know why I sound confident?
wiser.
Because I've had a lot of practice.
Okay.
I've been writing the things that I wanted to say for a long time. My biggest problem when I was younger is I don't know how to talk to people and I don't know what to say. So eventually, my solution was just to start writing. And after I've written lots of pages, I practiced speaking what I wrote down. And eventually it got better. And whenever I realized that there's something wrong with what I'm saying, I try to write down what I'm saying and I try to look for the problem. So that's the main idea between I mean that's the main idea behind these lessons. So in this case, we're going to move forward to activity 3. Activity 3 is about giving instructions. Now, why do you think giving instructions is important?
Um,
Hello? Are you there?
Hello. Uh, okay. Instructions.
Why is it important? Why is giving instructions an important skill if you're working in a call center?
Uh, uh, in working in a call center, I think it's important because I think when you instruct the client when
Uh,
they call for their technical problem like that,
yeah,
you have to instruct them what to do.
that's right. And I am beginning to guess that giving instructions is not one of your skills at the moment
Yes, sir.
because of the nature of your work, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the nature of your work is you're the one assisting the customers. Like um, most of the time, you're the one doing things for them. But in a call center, it's different. The customer will be doing things. Well, the customer will be doing things for them, but like it's more like you're giving instructions, and the customer will do like a self-service kind of transaction.
Yes, sir.
So sometimes you're assisting the customer, sometimes you're giving the customer instructions on how to work the self-service options. Like for example, let's say the customer bought a product and there's a problem, you're going to give the customer instructions on how to return the product and how to get a new how to get a new product. That's one example. All right?
Right.
So in this case, we are going to check how well you give instructions. So I'm going to read activity 3. So you mentioned here, I live in Montalban. I used to work in Valenzuela. My nail spa business is located in Valenzuela. I need to be at the spa at 11 a.m. The travel time to go to work takes up to 2 hours. It's easy to travel if you have a car. There aren't a lot of taxis in Montalban. See, here you go. Remember our first error?
Capitalization.
Yeah, here you go. Montalban. It's not capital. And then you see it again, a few sentences down, Payatas. It's not capital. So you just need to be careful about these tiny details.
Okay.
Because your grammar sounds good already. Like it's all good when I was reading it. Taking a grab is very expensive. Riding a jeep was a painful experience. You can smell the garbage from the dump sites in Payatas. Here is what I ride going to work. I take a van from our subdivision going to SM North. It is a comfortable means of transportation. When I get to SM North, I walk to the bus terminal. I ride a bus heading to Malinta. I get off at uh, Marulas near Fatima University. So capitalization again. I walk to Tamarao Street where my salon is located. I walk towards my salon. I usually arrive on time. So very good. You have both a combination of yun, SM North then. So SM North needs to be capitalized. So when it comes to landmarks and street signs, like this is okay. This is okay. It's not super detailed, but it's detailed enough to follow. So this is okay. Now, in this case, we are going to switch. You're the one who's going to be reading, and I want you to read your answer to activity for Nina's favorite song.
Um, eh, Nina's favorite song, sir.
Yep.
Uh, my favorite song is "Who Am I" by Casting Crowns. "Who Am I" became my favorite song recently. "Who Am I" is a meaningful song for me. My mom was hospitalized and in a critical condition. I keep praying to God not to take my mom. My siblings and I are not yet ready to lose her. We will never be ready. God heard our prayers and my mom got better. The song describes exactly what God made me feel. I am not a perfect person, but God answers my prayers. I only call God when I need him. God did not abandon me even if I am a sinner. God's love for us is bigger than our problems. I realize that God's love is unconditional. Who Am I also made me feel thankful for all the blessings. Who Am I reminds me that God is with me always.
Very good. No complaints. This is very good.
Thank
Um,
you, sir.
I might see a capitalization problem. Oh, no, there's nothing here. Okay, so let's move to your favorite movie.
Favorite. I will be the one reading this, sir.
Yep.
Um, One of my favorite movie is Pay It Forward.
Oh, pause. Sorry.
Pay It Forward.
Did you find the error?
Pay, sir.
Huh?
Pay.
Well, I found two. Now that you pointed that out, this one, the word forward. I think.
Forward.
Yeah, if it's a title of a movie, you need to capitalize all the words. And
Okay, sir.
then your second problem, well, in this case, this is the first time I've seen it, and we're now at lesson 4. Cap Punctuation. So this sentence doesn't have a period,
I'm sorry.
so you have to be
Okay, sir.
careful. So maybe this is just a mistake, but if we find another one, yeah, you put punctuation in your notebook. So yeah, keep going. I'm sorry I
Okay, sir.
interrupted you. Keep going.
It is a story of a boy named Trevor. His teacher, Mr. Semonet, gave their class an assignment. He asked them he asked them to think of an idea to change the world. He came he came up with the concept of paying it forward. Again, paying it forward is doing one favor to three different people. Each person he helped will also help three people. Pay It Forward is a simple movie with no special effects, but Pay It Forward has a touching story. I want to be a better person after watching this movie. The message of the movie is to be kind and help each other. Hopefully, the person you help will help other people until one day helping becomes a habit. At the end of the movie, Trevor died, but he inspired a lot of people. Maybe he really found a way to change the world. If only we will also take action just like Trevor.
Very good. So, yeah. Stories. Why are stories important?
Uh, I think, sir, when answering interview questions, you need to tell stories about yourself
Mm-hmm.
to the interviewer.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, you selected a Christian song, and are you active in church?
Actually, sir, no.
No. Okay. No, just asking. Because one of the things that I find interesting is like when I go to church and when I go meet people from church is that the stories of different people are interesting. We usually hear a story from people about why they're active at church or why they go there specifically. Have you had that experience when you've gone to church, like when you meet people there, or when you
Yes,
talk
sir.
to people,
I,
or sometimes it's just the pastor or the priest. They tell stories, and when people tell stories, you can kind of understand like a lesson or a point to the story.
yes, sir. You can
And
relate.
yeah, you can relate. Very good. That's the word I was trying to look for. You can relate. When you tell stories, you help other people connect with you, right?
Yes, sir.
When you tell stories about your problems, you make the other person feel that you're the same, like you both have problems. When you tell the part of the story that has a solution, you let the other person know that whatever problems you encounter also has a solution. And in the same way, whenever an interviewer asks you about strengths, weaknesses, or your advantages, like I did earlier, remember how when I answered, I used a story? Like when I was working for Makati Shangri-La, I learned how to do this, I learned how to do this, I learned how to do this. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
That's a very simple story. And the story form is a lot better than telling people that I'm honest, hardworking. Like you mentioned that you're married, right?
Yes, sir.
When you met your husband, when you were just dating or going out, did your husband ever tell you na ako na lang, gwapo naman ako, mabait naman ako, and maaasahan? No, right? No, you heard stories, right?
Yes, sir.
Maybe you heard stories about maybe his school days, work days, family, and then from the stories he concluded that this person's a good person, right?
Yes, sir.
You see the actions and then you also saw the stories. And that's kind of how you get that's how you should behave on dates. That's also the exact same way that you should behave during interviews.
I think I read something about yung the story, parang siya ang galing-galing nila ng sumagot sa interview. Tapos, sa inyo po yun sa pinost nyo.
Yeah,
Na,
but
tapos,
tell me a story
parang,
about that time na sinabi mo na positive ka and then they couldn't answer. Is that the one? Or iba?
yung parang tatlo na lang po sila na na natira. Tapos yung
Ayun,
isa pa
hindi ako
naman ang iba.
natanggap. That one.
Ayun.
Uh,
Opo.
I,
Yung
re- I
nakita
remember
ko.
that. I remember that kasi akala ko talaga matatanggap na ako dahil maayos yung English ko eh. And maayos yung English nung kasama ko eh. Tapos the other person, may konti siyang mali. Pero syempre, parang dahil maayos yung English ko, parang ang yabang ko na nun. Diba? For the moment na edi na-interview ako, sinagot ko yung mga tanong niya. Yes, yes, parang yes and no lang, short answers. Yung kasama ko, ganun din, yes and no, short answers. Tapos sila, nagkwentuhan sila na, parang I heard something like, wala pa ako, and bago lang ako sa Manila. And parang ikaw, may province ka rin, anong province mo? And like, I heard some personal storytelling happening on both sides. So both the applicant and the interviewer were sharing stories. And in the end, siya yung natanggap. And hindi ko ma-take yun kasi parang yun na yata yung huling time na binigyan ako ng pera for that week. Tapos after nun, hindi na ako naka-apply for another few weeks. Kasi inantay ko pang magkapera ulit. But, kaya nag-stick talaga sa akin yun na magkaiba yung English skills sa communication skills.
Yes, sir.
So, if you want to make people like you, isa pa. When you enrolled with us, did you ever see posts na, I'm Kevin. I'm the best English teacher in the world. I'm the greatest call center agent in the... Wala naman, di ba?
Wala po.
Ano mga post ko? It's all about stories and demonstrations, right?
That's right.
Kasi before you purchased our program, before you paid us to teach you, baliktad yung situation. I'm applying for a job and you're the one hiring. Diba?
Opo.
Ako yung, technically, like, if you look at it in an objective way, ako yung nag-a-apply sa'yo. Ako yung nag-a-apply ng trabaho as instructor. Right? And, yeah, alam ko na malaking bagay na mura lang yung singil namin. Pero, alam ko na hindi yun titigil doon. Na I need to have other things aside sa mura yung singil. How would you know na marunong kami mag-teach? Naglabas kami ng YouTube videos. How would you know na meron talaga kaming lessons? Eh, di linabas namin yung lessons sa page, sa mga, sa website, sa mga Facebook group. And, in the same way, pag nag-apply ka, you already told me na you have some customer service training, you know how to deal with difficult customers. Mukhang naputol. Okay, redial. Ganun talaga.
Yes, sir.
Hi, naputol. So, yun. What I was saying is, ikaw, na-mention mo kanina na you have experience dealing with difficult customers, may customer service training ka. You want to prepare stories of the most difficult situations that you've had in customer service. Like, you want to... So, it's either a success story or a failure story. Kung success story, okay yun. If you're telling a success story, you wanna point out yung pinakamalalang part ng problem and then how you came to a solution. Diba? Success story. Now, if you're talking about a story na nag-fail ka, same din, you talk about kung ano yung situation and bakit ka nag-fail, pero you don't stop there. You don't stop sa failure. End your story with the lesson that you learned and how that lesson made you a better person. And yun din yung format ko sa mga stories na sinishare ko sa page and sa lessons na pinapadala ko rin sa inyo. So, same format. And I want you to learn how to do that so you can make the interviewers like you enough to bet money on you. Gets?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, very good with the paid forward. So, lesson 5. Pronunciation, ang observation ko sa'yo, yung TH sound mo is 80% okay or 85% okay. Most of the time, nasasabi mo siya ng maayos pero nagsislip ka sa ibang parts. So, ang session 2 natin will be focusing on pronunciation. So, meron akong 3 video na papapanood sa'yo para when we get to pronunciation, assessment na lang tayo and mas marami pa tayong makover.
Okay po.
Kasi I realized na mas maganda pag marami tayong na-cover. Anyway, so one sentence paragraph, yep. Okay, so usual na gets mo siya. Then sa shortened sentence, ito. Yo, nakalimutan mo. Yung huling idea doon, sinadya ko talaga na incomplete yun. Ay, teka lang. Ay, okay. So, nakompleto mo siya, pero nakalimutan mo lagyan ng period.
Yung sa D, sir?
Natural advantage of cyclists. Nakalimutan mo yung period.
Okay.
So, ilagay mo na nga talaga dyan sa notebook mo yung punctuation. Kasi, yun nga, most of the time, hindi mo siya, most of the time, tama. Binabalikan ko yung mga sentence mo. Lahat sila halos may period. Pero mukhang may na-skip ka lang. As far as grammar goes, wala akong reklamo sa'yo. Mukhang binasa mo lahat ng guide at inayos mo talaga.
Hirap lang talaga ako sir sa pagsasalita. Yung pakikipag-usap kasi lalo mo nung kausap na parang nasanay ako na hindi naman nag-i-English.
Si husband ba hindi mo pwedeng kulitin mag-English?
Busy ko sir.
Ha? Busy?
Busy din po.
Anong work niya?
IT sir.
IT? Eh di sabihin mo lang have you eaten? Uy, pagdating mo dun sa mga succeeding lessons, may mga ganun tayo. Have you eaten? How was your day? Are you okay?
Since nag-start po yung lesson natin, sabi ko kailangan ko talagang mag-practice. Pina-practice din naman
po. Hindi mo sabi ko, practice. Eto. So, alam mo na yung introduction kasi sa interview yan. Yung questions lang.
Apo.
So, pag may sinabi siya na hindi mo narinig, sorry, I didn't hear you. Say that again, please.
Okay.
Pero magagamit mo sa call center. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you say that again, please? Kasi, di ba, lahat naman may kausap tayo sa phone. Huwag mo sasabihin choppy. Number 1 yun. Huwag mo sasabihin choppy. Hindi ko alam kung parang, alam ko hindi big deal yun, pero it turns out na big deal pala siya. Meron akong student, meron siyang interview, sinabihan niya ng choppy yung interviewer, wala na, tapos na.
Okay po. Alam ko parang wala lang eh.
Diba? Ang is, I'm sorry I couldn't hear you properly. Can you say that again, please? Or, I'm sorry I couldn't hear you. I'm just going to go to a spot with better signal. Yun, kausapin mo sila ng English.
Okay, sir.
One time, may nag-share sa akin na student, hindi daw siya tinanggap dahil nag-opo siya dun sa
Opo.
O yun, practice na Kaya training pa lang, sinasabihin ko kayo, huwag kayong magsasir sa akin, Kevin lang, or lang.
Kevin, okay, sir. Okay, Kevin.
Ayan na. So, practice. Okay, advantage of someone who didn't finish college. Parinig nga nito, tapos, this time, ayokong basahin mo lang yung sentence. Gusto ko lagyan mo ng emotion, lagyan mo ng confidence. Ay, teka lang. Alam ko natapos mo na yung week 2 eh. Alam mo na yung kailangan mong gawin para napanood mo na yung ibang pronunciation video?
Opo.
So, alam mo na yung kailangan gawin para maayos yung boses mo na hindi ka dapat nakatungo, na humihinga ka, humingiti ka habang
Opo.
nagsasalita ka. Okay, sige. Yun, apply mo yun, parinig nito. Advantage of someone who didn't finish college.
Okay, sir. I didn't finish college. I know that I can be a good hire. I'm looking for ways to improve myself. I will make up for my shortcomings. I work on how to improve my skills. I look for ways to improve my knowledge. I study to improve my communication skills. I am not intimidated to learn new things. Someone without a college degree needs to work hard to be hired. I need to earn my employer's trust for me to be hired. I need to have a good opportunity. As someone who didn't finish college, I won't waste opportunities. I won't waste someone's trust. You can expect me to be trustworthy. You can expect me to be responsible. You can expect me to be diligent. You can also expect me to really value my job. I can also make for my shortcomings. If I can work on...
Hello?
Hello?
Yep, nag-signal drop ka. Paulit.
Okay.
I can also make up for my...
Shortcomings.
Okay.
If I can work on improving my academic skills. Ay, parang mali ko.
Oo, tanggalin mo yung if.
Okay.
Parang
Okay.
hindi siya related.
Opo.
Ayun.
Okay. Having this quality, I can work on improving my academic skills. Having these qualities can help me to be the best employee. No, sir.
Ito hindi na kailangan tong tuna. Ito.
Okay. Help me be the best employee.
No, same meaning. Okay lang, tanggalin
Opo,
mo lang ito.
opo.
Tapos, okay, observation lang habang since binabasa mo siya, parang ang nangyayari sa'yo, mihinga ka, tapos magsasalita ka, tapos parang either mawawalan ka ng hininga or mabubulol ka sa gitna ng word na malapit sa dulo.
Okay po.
I think, marami siya kanina dito sa you can expect me to be, tapos, hindi mo siya, yung trustworthy, mapuputol ka sa gitna, tapos saka mo siya sasabihin ng maayos. So, ang important skill na matutunan mo at this point, lalo na nagbabasa ka ng sentences, is mag-pause ka pag medyo, so, you can expect me to be, tigil ka doon. Huwag mong ipilit yung word, tapos magkakamali ka. Trustworthy. Or, pwede ka mag-pause. So, pwedeng, you can expect me to be responsible. You can expect me to be diligent. So, pwede kang mag-pause, pero wag kang mag-pause sa gitna ng word.
Okay po.
Gets mo? Kasi kanina parang napapapause ka sa gitna ng word dahil either nahihirapan ka or nabubulol ka.
Okay.
So, yun lang yung yun lang yung kailangan natin. So, next thing. So, advantage of someone who grew up in the province. So, ngayon, I think narinig mo na to kung napanood mo yung video na nag-explain ako about sa posture and sa body position pag nagsasalita ka.
Opo.
So this time, lalagyan natin ng konting in the same explanation, sinabi ko na meron tayong dalawang klaseng. As Filipinos, meron tayong dalawang klaseng ng English pronunciation. The first pronunciation would be yung Taglish way of saying things and yung English way of saying things. So dun sa Taglish way of saying things, medyo matigas yung English natin. Diba? Parang 20, 30, 40, so minsan parang P pa yung tunog nun, 'di ba? medyo matigas, parang pangkanto, parang nagmumura, 'di ba? Pero when it comes to the English way of speaking English, you're going to sound a lot smoother. And a lot of Filipinos will say that you are maarte.
Maarte.
Yeah, maarte, right? Hindi ka maarte, maarte.
Maarte.
Yeah, very good. So, in this case, tamang-tama sa topic na pinili mo, advantage of someone who grew up in the province. I want you to talk like someone who grew up in the province pero maarte.
Maarte.
Maarte. Yeah. Okay, so let's hear it.
Okay. Someone who grew up in the province is a good hire. I grew up in Quezon province. I am obedient. I follow rules set by my elderly. I wake up early. I am trustworthy. I am respectful. I finish tasks that were given to me. I am hardworking. I know how to value simple things. I am disciplined by my strict grandparents. Someone who grew up in the province is used to hardships. I know how hard it is to find good opportunities. With these qualities, you can expect me to be diligent. You can expect me to work hard without complaint. You can expect me to be punctual. You can expect me to be a responsible employee. You can expect me to have a sense of responsibility. I will do my best with the task assigned to me. You can expect me to do well with my job.
Okay. Feeling ko pag pinost ko yung video nito, marami magagalit sa akin. Kasi, tama yung grammar mo. Wala akong nakitang mali. Pronunciation-wise, okay naman. Pero may sasabihin na naman ako. So, baka sabihin si Kevin or si Sir Kevin na naghahanap talaga ng yung tunog ng pananalita mo, pagkatapos natin pag-usapan na artihan yung sound niya, yung tone of voice mo parang sasali sa military or sa police. Parang napaka-strict and serious ng sinasalihan mo. Diba? I wake up early. I'm trustworthy. Parang kang nagpapanatang makabayan in English. Diba? So, remember, balik tayo dun sa customer service training mo sa di ba dapat parang cheerful and happy and welcoming. Alright? So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read this. Just, ito lang. Kasi, okay, ito lang. Kasi yung next ikaw na ulit. So, advantage, parang hindi ko yata magagawa ito, pero try. Advantages of someone who grew up in the province. Someone who grew up in the province is a good hire. I grew up in Quezon province. I am obedient. I follow rules set by my elderly. I wake up early. I'm trustworthy. I am respectful. I finish tasks that were given to me. I'm hardworking. I know how to value simple things. I am disciplined by my strict grandparents. Someone who grew up in the province is used to hardships. I know how hard it is to find good opportunities. With these qualities, you can expect me to be diligent. You can expect me to work hard without complaint. You can expect me to be punctual. You can expect me to be a responsible employee. You can expect me to have a sense of responsibility. I will do my best with a task assigned to me. You can expect me to do well with my job. Dapat pala to do my job well. Pero okay lang. Feeling ko factor din yung sinasabi mo. Kasi parang kahit tinatry ko, parang napapa-serious din yung pagkabasa ko Diba?
Pero cheerful na siya.
Konti. Konti lang. Hindi siya kasing cheerful ng ano. Hindi, ano. Pero, yun. Parang, what do you call that? Nung nagte-take ako ng writing lessons dati, one of the things na napulot ko is you want to write sentences that you'll be proud of. You'll be 100% proud of.
Okay.
And, yun. Like, these sentences are good kasi wala akong nakitang mali eh. Konting adjustment, urong mo to, tanggalin mo to, but wala akong ano, wala akong complaints. So this is very good.
Thank you, sir.
So half step in, maganda yung sagot mo. Half step in ka na. Ay, nag-correct ka. So, inulit mo? O kinapi-paste mo tapos kinorek mo?
Saan banda, sir? Kasi di ba po yung 7, parang kailangan may mga i-correct ka. So, kinarek ko po muna. Tapos, yung pin-nose ko dyan, parang may mga kinarek yata po ako dyan.
Okay. Okay na yun. Pero the fact na kinorek mo, hard worker ka talaga. So, ano yan? Pag may nag-verify sa akin na na kung hard worker ka, kaya ko ito. Tapos na dapat siya ng 15 pages, inulit pa nyo, 38 pages yung pinasa niya sa akin. So, ito, basahin mo to, Advantages of Hiring Nina. Bibigyan ka ng feedback dito.
Wala na po ako. Of hiring niya? I have what it takes to be a good employee. I am the type of person who takes my tasks seriously. Before I go to sleep, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nahulog yung cellphone ko. Before I go to sleep, I set my goal for tomorrow. Wait lang. I always wake up early to do my chores. I organize and prioritize my workload. I work hard to finish early. That gives me time to do more useful activities. I use my extra time to learn new things. I learn how to cook. I learn how to bake. I never thought I would learn these skills. But my ability to learn fast helps me a lot. My sense of responsibility is what keeps me motivated. I want to be able to do my best. That's why I keep on looking for ways to improve myself. I'm not afraid to learn new things. Whatever I do, I always give my best because someday I will benefit from it. I believe these are the advantages of hiring me. I am responsible, I am fast learner, I am goal-oriented, I work diligently, I am also I'm also a responsible person. Ulit-ulit. With my qualities, I believe that I can do more.
Signal drop. Ready tayo. Hello, sorry na putol.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Kevin. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, feedback. This is good overall. This is good overall, pero hindi ito yung gagamitin ko. Like in an interview. Um, I like the part where, diba, you started with, I have what it takes to be a good employee. I'm a type of person who takes my task seriously. So, self-description. Ito maganda. Before I go to sleep, I set my goal for tomorrow. I always wake up early to do my chores. I organize and prioritize my workload. I work hard to finish early. That gives me ang ito suggestion na to, hindi siya correction. Um, doing these activities gives me time to do more useful activities. Ano nga, magre-redundant. Um, prioritizing my tasks gives me time to do more useful activities. I use my extra time to learn new things. I learn how to cook, I learn how to bake. So, eto, maganda to kasi you're talking about your positive traits. So, binakapan mo nga. Binakapan mo yung unang sinabi mong dalawa. This is like level 1 na level 1 na gusto ko ituro. Na if you're going to talk about a positive trait, you want to back that up with a story, with things that you've already done. Diba? I learned how to bake. I never thought that I would learn these skills. But my ability to learn fast helps me a lot. My sense of responsibility is what keeps me motivated. I want to be able to do my best. That's why I keep on looking for ways to improve myself. I'm not afraid to learn new things. Whatever I do, I always give my best. Because someday, I will benefit from it. So, maganda yung logic and reasoning ng mga sentences mo. However, when you got to the end, I believe these are the advantages of hiring me. I'm responsible, I'm a fast learner, I'm goal-oriented, I work diligently, I'm a responsible person. With my qualities, I believe that I can do more. I could be one of your best employees. Nagpunta ka from showing proof to making promises. And it's always a good idea to show proof than make promises. Hindi ko alam. Ito yung logic ko since introvert ako. Mas gusto ko na patunayan ko na lang kaysa sa mangako ako ng mangako. So, hindi ako comfortable na magbuhat ng sariling bangko and mag-speak about my positive traits. So, ang recommendation ko at this point is if you can include a story that will say that you're responsible, you're a fast learner, you're goal-oriented, you work diligently, and gaya nga ng sinabi mo, inulit mo na naman, I'm also a responsible person. Sinabi ko na bang responsable ako? So, yun yung dating parang sinabi mo nung una, sinabi mo sa huli. Yun. If you can tell a story that summarizes all that, mas maganda.
Okay.
So, in your free time, mag-isip ka, what's a situation or what's a story of a time that I showed that I'm responsible? Or meron bang problema na na-solve ko dahil may kailangan akong matutunan and natutunan ko siya? And I had to work diligently. Kasi ganito yan pag naliligaw ka, kailangan, eto from a guy's point of view, kailangan iparating mo yung positive traits mo nang hindi mo sinasabing direkta na may positive traits ka. Gets mo?
Opo.
Kasi pag kunyari lang kunyari bata pa tayo tapos ako yung nanliligaw. Pag sinabi ko sa'yo na responsable ako, marami akong pera and ginagawa ko naman yung mga pinapagawa sa akin, masunurin ako sa magulang ko, happy sila sa akin, and magiging happy ka rin sa akin. Parang hindi, 'di ba? Malabo. Right? Kung ganun yung choice of words. But what you want to do is you want to tell a story. Like, say for example, balik tayo dun sa situation na yon na ano, ay sorry, nalate ako sa date natin, tinulungan ko pa kasi yung mommy ko maglaba eh. Responsible. Gets mo?
Yes, sir.
Nagigets mo yung connection niya.
Yes, sir. Gets ko naman.
So, you want a story like this. Ang gagawin ko, pag nag-apply ako, is as much as possible, gusto ko idikit dun sa most recent na work ko. Yung work mo sa Shangri-La Makati, yun ba yung last?
Opo.
Iba pa yung nag-work ka sa nail shop.
Ano po yun, business na sa akin na po yun.
Okay, pero kung mag-apply ka sa call center, quiet ka lang dun ah. Kasi ang question nila sa'yo ay bakit hindi ka na lang mag-focus sa business mo? Pero may sagot naman ako doon just in case. Pag nagtanong sila bakit, syempre, you're older, you have responsibilities, and while it's true na maganda yung kita sa ganong klase ng work, you're looking for something na stable. Diba? So, pwede mong sabihin, ay, yung family nyo yung nagmamanage nun. Pero parang pera mo lang yung ginamit. Or something like that.
Okay.
Do you have kids?
Wala pa po.
Wala pa. Okay. Kasi parang same logic ng kunyari sa kids, for example. Minsan and I'm sure na-experience mo to sa mga katrabaho mo. Like, pag kunyari, meron silang, may anak, ang worry ng management is, baka mag-absent pag nagka-problema sa anak, di ba?
Opo.
So, in the same way, ganun din iniisip nila. Baka mag-absent ka pag may issue or may kailangan asikasuhin sa business.
Okay po.
Yun yung So, you want to point out that, what do you call that? You want to point out that meron ka ng solution. Like, for example, dun sa nail business, may nagbabantay. Hindi mo hindi ka hindi magiging dahilan yung nail business kung bakit ka mag-a-absent or malilate. Bale, pwedeng may family member kayo na nagmamanage nun, or yung husband mo yung tumatao, or yung gets?
Yes, sir.
Okay. About dito sa yung responsible, fast learner, siguro ang gagawin ko dito is ikikwento ko pa rin yung sa Makati Shangri-La. Like, talk about yung mga skills na natutunan mo in yung challenges. Na mahirap and ito nga yung magandang strategy. Like, if you're, it turns out that if you're working for Shangri-La Makati, the management is like super strict. You have to be there on time all the time, and there's no you're not allowed to make mistakes because you're working for a 5-star establishment, and you have to learn all the skills. So, fast learner, you have to focus on pleasing the customer, and you have to make sure that all the details are perfect. Like, if I switch the spoons or the forks, if I put the spoons or the forks at the wrong places on the table, that could get me in trouble. So, we make sure that everything's perfect. Parang ganong klaseng story. And then, if you tell that story, parang sinabi mo na, you're responsible, you're a fast learner, you're goal-oriented, you work diligently, and yun nga, you're responsible. Kasi strict nga sila eh, di ba? So, pag sinabi mo na the management's really strict when it comes to ganito, so Eto, wag kang titigil sa ano, parang intro lang yon. The management's really strict. Ito yung kailangan kong gawin. Kailangan kong matutunan to, ito. Gets?
Yes, sir.
And at using that story, nasabi mo na lahat to. Diba?
Hindi ko na po kailangan sabihin pa yung responsible.
Diba? So, yeah, that's the main point of week 1, lesson 1. May questions ka ba sa dulo? May nasulat kang questions?
Wala naman po.
Wala. Ayan.
Wala po akong maisip. Parang,
Clear naman. Pag may pumasok sa isip mo, message mo lang kami. Either sugatin natin sa session 2 or gawa ko ng video for you. Anyway,
Okay po.
Ngayon, may naisip ka.
wala, sir. Clear naman po lahat yung sinabi niyo.
Okay. Sige. Basta stories, tapos, when it comes to week 2, what do you call that? Maglalagay din ako ng feedback. Pero, hopefully, madali lang pala yung sa'yo kasi walang error eh. Good job on completing both week 1 and week 2. Part ka na ng top 10% ng students namin. Part ka na ng top 10. Kasi a lot of the students, they try this and nung nalaman nila, and nung akala nila nagbibiro kami nung nag-enroll sila, nung nalaman nila na kailangan magsulat, wala na.
Mahirap po para sa atin magsulat.
Yeah, for a lot of people, ganun. And parang, and may mga students kami na 2 months bago natapos yung isang week. Tapos nag-quit after phone coaching. Pero, yeah. Kung mag-a-apply ka sa call center, in terms of ranking, out of 100 people, 90 yung tinalo mo.
Thank you, sir.
And partida, kinakabahan ka pa niyan. Wala ka pa masyadong practice, speaking. As far as pronunciation goes, kailangan mong bantayan yung TH kasi 80-85% of the time, tama siya, pero tamitigas siya every now and then. Kailangan mong i-harness yung maarting voice mo. Kasi medyo, okay naman, okay yung pronunciation mo, pero medyo serious.
Okay po.
Parang military or police or teacher yung dating. So, yun, tone of voice. Pag nahirapan kang bigkasin or nahirapan kang basahin, mag-pause ka between words. Huwag ka mag-pause habang nasa gitna ka na ng word.
Okay po.
So, huminga ka ng extra kung kailangan mo. Hindi naman to pabilisan.
Okay po.
Okay? Yeah. And kung may questions ka, i-add mo na lang dun sa module. Pronunciation tayo, session 2. Okay?
Okay po.
Sige. Pa-contact na lang kita sa admin for the next slot.
Para po sa lesson...
Session 2.
Week 2?
Session 2 na
Okay po.
Tapos, i-check ko pa yung week 2 mo. Hindi pa ako tapos.
Okay, sir.
Alright. Sige. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you po.